And welcome into another edition of the 617 podcast by the Crowworthy Network, the voice of the Boston fans by the Boston fans. You know, I think to myself, at least, I don't know, once or twice a week, do you think people get confused when they listen to this podcast? Because when you think the 617 podcast, it's going to be hosted by a bunch of people with actual Boston accents, which is none of us. Two of us are from Worcester, one of us is from the North Shore. So, I don't know. We talk with our R's. New Hampshire, whatever. It's
Might
Craig
as well be
Delisandro.
the North Shore.
The northest of shores.
Some would say. It's Craig Delisandro. It's Joe Malkin. It's Michael Marcangelo. And fun show, as we'll always talk about here on the 617. Patriots season is over. They finished with a record of 8-9 on the season because the NFL season is now 17 games. Mike, would you remind me of what the final score of that game was on Sunday?
Craig, I would be happy to remind you of the score of that bloodbath on Sunday. It was 35-23 in favor of the Buffalo Bills. I'd also like to point out that was because of two, not one, but two kickoff returns for touchdowns. The NFL saw 6 all year. 3 of them were against us. You get what you deserve, and you get what you don't pay for, Patriot fans.
I was just getting out of my bedroom, getting ready for that game, and I was like, I heard some commotion. Yes, but I heard some commotion. It was like, it's not gonna be a touchdown return immediately on the kickoff, the first play of the game, and then I come in, I see like at the 45-yard line, there's Himes at the 40 to the 30 to the 20 to the 10. Bills lead 6-0, 6 seconds into the game, and I was like, well, this ain't gonna be good. And I think we all knew coming into this game that this game probably wasn't going to be good because of the DeMar Hamlin storyline that was weighing over everyone's head. And clearly it still was. It wasn't as much of a show as I thought it was going to be. I figured there'd be like a video or something out there. But turns out he's recovering. He's out of Cincinnati. He's back in Buffalo, so it looks like he's on the path. But, yeah, Patriots got smoked in this game. Turns out like we all thought they were going to be in. Season's over the Patriots. Joe, thoughts?
Achord sucks. Matt Patricia sucks. Joe Judge sucks. And I don't know if you guys heard in passing, but for the listeners as well, the Kraft sent out an email to all season ticket holders that basically said there's going to be a lot of changes and positive moves this offseason. Well, F you guys. Why didn't you do that in the first place? Why didn't you make this team good in the first place? We get 25 years of being great, and then all of a sudden you're having to send out emails that Shad Khan has to send out to his fans. Like, excuse me, it's getting me all choked up.
He's in the playoffs.
I know. So now he doesn't have to send those emails out. But why does Robert Kraft have to send those emails out? Because he gave Bill the keys to the car, and Bill doesn't even know how to drive it? Come on. I mean, this should never have happened. Robert Kraft never should have let what happened this year happen. Achord isn't qualified for his job. Joe Judge isn't qualified for his job. Matt Patricia isn't qualified for his job. Steve Belichick and Gerard Mayo are the two most qualified coaches other than Bill Belichick on that staff. And that's wild to say that. I mean, not necessarily in the case of Gerard Mayo because he's likely going to get a job, whether it's as the Browns defensive coordinator or the Texans head coach with Nick Caserio down there in Houston. So this team was just almost comical to watch. And a lot of the home games was more to go watch the cheerleaders because my friend's wife is a cheerleader and say hi to her in the second quarter when she came into our corner. And also to watch all the stars that came through, watch Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle and Joe Burrow and the like, because that's what this season turned into. And now the Patriots have to send out apology emails telling us that they're going to make changes. What changes? Because you never should have let it happen in the first place. Robert Kraft is the owner. So why is this happening? Why is this going on? Because I know that where I work, if people were blatantly underqualified or not qualified at all for their job and weren't doing a good job, there would be changes made. And that's not something that happened here when you have people paying thousands of dollars for season tickets and you put an absolutely horrendous product out on the field. It's deplorable, honestly.
Can I play a little devil's advocate and actually maybe even sound positive for a second on this? I think that this was the best possible time.
We didn't get to answer. No.
Oh, okay. So I think that this was probably the best possible time for this experiment to happen for two reasons. Number one, you have most young talent on this team shored up for another 2 years. Number two, Bill has now proven that he cannot or will not and should not be in charge of just hiring the offensive or non-offensive coordinators. I think now the fact that you got that email, what that tells us is that there's actually going to be change because the players on the field were better than they were last year. The drop-off was the coaching or lack thereof. So if you get a real offensive coordinator, and from what I hear, cocaine boy Steve Belichick, like if he's calling the defensive plays, cool. He did a pretty good job. I think if you get someone to help him out and a real offensive coordinator, and now you know that Bill cannot do the thing that he's always wanted to do, which is tear it down and devalue the quarterback position and devalue the offensive coordinator position. Max real big year is next year. It's year 3 of a rookie contract. Then you need to decide if you're going to give him that 5th year option or if you're really going to pay. We've already seen, I don't think it's a ceiling, but with offensive coordinator, he looks like a pretty good quarterback. With no offensive coordinator, he sucks. So bring in someone, Billy O'Brien, and let him be good again. And then I think I think you and I, Joe, with Karen agreeing early on in the season, actually before the season even started, we all unanimously decided the Patriots were not going to finish above 500. We were right, but the way that they lost this game on Sunday, that wasn't even in my purview. I thought they were going to get smoked on offense. They didn't. Mac looked really good. He went 9 for 9 on play action. That's weird. And special teams, the thing that Bill always preaches is really in the details. Is your kicking game. They let that go. But you already have Joe Judge on the staff. Just let him do that. He was pretty good there. So it's not unfixable. It was embarrassing. It was funny. I mean, I laughed. I was laughing my ass off at this because I'm a Patriot. Despite how I sound, I am a Patriot fan. But don't give me chicken shit and expect and then try to tell me it's actually chicken salad. Right? You can't do that.
And that's what Bill's been doing all season long. And what I just don't understand this, and you use the word experiment, and not you saying it, but the fact that that's what this was irks me to my core as a fan. Why? You have Charlie Weiss, Bill O'Brien, Josh McDaniels. Go through the gauntlet of offensive coaches that have come through this team and coached well here. And then all of a sudden now this year, you decide after 6 Super Bowl wins with the franchise and a bad COVID year and getting blown out against Buffalo in the playoffs last year, you're like, I mean, did Bill have to sell his soul to the devil? I think he did that a long time ago when he drafted Tom Brady. But did he, why? Like, it makes me want to stutter. You guys were talking about stuttering on the show before we started. Why? Why was this the experiment, Mike? Why waste the year of a second-year quarterback? Why waste the year of contracts of guys from when you spent $250 million? Why waste the time, the effort, the experience, and make everyone frustrated and maybe lose trust in you just to experiment with something? And really, the only thing that I think would give me any retribution for this is if Bill O'Brien does get hired And maybe there was something with his contract at Alabama where he couldn't go last year, and now he's going to come this year. But even then, so we were just having a placeholder until he got here. We gave the reins to a defensive guy and a special teams guy instead of, I don't know, maybe see what Troy Brown can do. He was around the game for a little while. Let's see if he can be a first-time offensive coordinator.
I'm out on Troy Brown.
Yeah, but see, and a big thing is people may say to that when they're listening to this, or you guys may be thinking it, well, Bill doesn't like first-time coordinators. Well, Matt Patricia was a first-time offensive coordinator, and he effing sucks at it. He sucks at it. So watching him stand there in his stupid big white coat, calling stupid plays, he's awful. And everybody got on Mac this year for, MF and the coaches on the sideline and stuff like that. And then I said to somebody, well, what if Tom Brady did that? And they were like, well, Tom Brady won 6 Super Bowls. This guy has only been in the league for 2 years. This guy was on a national championship winning team. This guy played for one of the best college coaches of all time. This guy played for one of the best offensive minds in football right now. And Steve Sarkisian. So the point is, yeah, this guy knows what the hell he's doing. And he sees through the bullshit that Bill Belichick put in front of him with this coaching staff. Everybody's like, he needs to shut up and play. And, Zappy goes out there and he plays and he just slings the ball around and he makes the offense work. They call different plays. They call different plays because he's a different style quarterback. They call different plays because they know he's going to listen. And Mac tries to go off script a little bit, I think. And I think that's out of frustration because they wasted the second year of this kid's career. Do I think he was drafted too high at 15? Do I think his ceiling is lower than where we may have thought it was at the end of last season? Probably. But it's insane to me, Mike, that this experiment would be run now with a second-year quarterback. Like, why not if you're going to run that experiment, that's when you want the veteran quarterback presence to almost coach Matt Patricia to do the job. How many times did Bill Belichick correct the mistakes of Matt Patricia on the defensive side of the ball? And how many times did Tom Brady make Josh McDaniels look that much better? Jet sweep Josh. So I got no problem with Josh MF and the coaching staff and everything else. And everybody's like, oh, his players are losing faith in him, blah, blah. No, nope. I saw it on the sideline last Sunday against Cincinnati. They're not against Miami. They're not losing faith in him. Those guys like him. I think they love him. I think they love having Mac around. I think they know that he's fighting for them. And that's what this is. It's not Mac bitching to bitch. It's Mac bitching because he knows what should be going on. And he knows that Kendrick Bourne is being misused, that Hunter Henry is being misused. I mean, when Jacoby Myers caught his first NFL touchdown, that was last year, right? From Brian Hoyer.
Yep.
When he caught his first touchdown, Mac was the first one down there. These guys like Mac. Mac loves these guys. Him bitching at the coaches is not going to make the players lose trust because these players know that he's on their side. And Robert Kraft, it starts at the top now because Bill's the guy that hired these coaches. It starts with Kraft. It's got to change, and it's got to change now.
And also, I will say, from watching New England Patriots for 20 plus years, Tom Brady did a lot of that bitching on the sidelines too.
And that was part of my point.
The difference will be people say, well, that's him being a leader.
Right. Well, he threw the iPad. He threw a tantrum on the sideline. Well, he's pissed off because his guy should have done this. And it's like, come on. I mean, you guys,
that was also like 2012. So, after they won 3.
Right.
But still. I think if you want to look, just look at the numbers. I mean, we're always we're on the show with some people to say, well, you can't always go with the stats, right? What I would say to that is the stats don't lie in this case because Mac Jones went from averaging 228 yards per game last year to 214 yards per game this year.
With the same players.
The same fucking players. He went from an 85% or an 85 quarterback rating to a 71. No, actually, I think it's worse than that. I think it's actually worse than that. Sorry, he went from a 93 quarterback rating to an 84. Like he threw for 900 less yards. He threw for, I believe it was 8 less touchdowns. Yeah, I know he missed 3 games, but it was bad. The only thing that changed between this year and last year was the coach. Was the coaching staff.
Yep.
And we saw Bill
from the personnel point.
Yeah, but he gambled. Bill gambled, and I'll give him credit for this because if it paid off, the reward was much higher than the risk. The risk is it doesn't go very well. He can still probably coach the defense well enough and get figure out 6 to 7 wins and get lucky here and there. But if it does go well and he gets 10 wins, he matches last year's record with some asshole as your offensive coordinator. Like that's why I was praying. Do not win this game. Do not get into the playoffs. Do not validate this. Because if you do, we're screwed. Now, Bill knows he can't. You can either devalue the offensive coordinator or the quarterback, but you can't do both.
You think that was a conversation he had with Kraft, Mike, of, hey, let me do this, and if I make the playoffs, you let me make the calls, and if I don't, we'll make changes?
Yeah, for sure.
That makes me so mad. That makes me so mad.
But it should also renew your sense of faith in the fact that we've all said in this show, and Ray has said it too, that Bill's lost his fastball. You don't bet on yourself like that if you don't think that you can still throw a heater. And it turns out
he can't.
He can't. He can on defense. I still believe he can do whatever he wants on defense. But he devalues offense because he doesn't understand it. That's it. Like he's always believed that a good defense will beat a good offense. Not anymore.
Yeah,
you have to.
It's not 1986 anymore.
Right.
Well, Rayshon, who's definitely been here the entire time, the Patriots season has come to an end at 9-8-9. Thoughts?
Oh, they suck. It was really. I mean, listen.
Couldn't have said it better ourselves.
Right, exactly. To me, listen, for anybody that thought that New England was going to win that game Sunday, with Uncle Roger in the house, I don't know what you were thinking. Once again, they gave a great showing, in my opinion, in that first half. I thought they were up to the task. They showed that they did not quit, as Mike had alluded to them quitting in weeks prior, and that was true. It was true then, but it wasn't true on Sunday, right? They played like they wanted to make the playoffs, right? McCourty made some plays, Duggar made some plays. Judon was disruptive when he was out there before the ankle injury. So, a lot of things looked like they went right. The offense looked the best it looked in forever, on Sunday as well. So it was kind of like, they're playing with house money, so to speak. But it's amazing what happens when you have a guy that can go get it like Devontae Parker. And you let Kendrick Bourne play. Oh, you throw it to Saquon Thornton as well. So they finally just let loose and actually use the weapons. But, to the point about Bill losing the fastball, yeah, he looks like 2001 Hideo Nomo. Like, it's outside of the no-hitter. Besides no-hitter against Baltimore. After that, it was just like, what the fuck happened? What happened? And that's what he looks like out there. And it's just like, dude, like at this moment, I don't even know how Kraft allowed that conversation if that's the case, Mike. Like that, no way.
I mean, purely speculating. I believe what I'm saying is true, but I'm purely speculating.
But you've had some wild takes in your day. I don't know. I wouldn't say right, but I wouldn't say this is completely far-fetched. Like, I really think because they have that rapport that they've had over and he's built that cachet that he can basically kind of get away and have that leeway with what he wants to do on both sides of the ball. But it failed miserably. And the fact that all fans noticed, like Joe, me and Joe did a show week 1. I think it might have been we did a show actually maybe during training camp. Joe was screaming about it then. And Joe every now and then has positive moments. Joe was negative from the jump he said, this is not going to work. What are we doing? So that should let you know that someone that's there that watches the product gives his hard-earned money to you, Robert Kraft, him and his dad, for a number of years. It's not just about family bonding. They give you that hard-earned money. and you fucking blew it, Robert Kraft. You spent their money because I know they blew money on hot dog, blew money on bear. The bear would probably be good, but it's just like you wasted their money. that's the moral of the story. You wasted that money, Robert Kraft.
And that's all I blew at Gillette Stadium.
You owe his dad. You owe the rest of Patriot Nation to get the fucking job done in this offseason, in the draft, and then when we see y'all in July for training camp.
I don't know if you ask Bill Belichick, Patriots have been like 27th in the league in actual spending.
So spend more money, general manager.
Come on, Craig,
I just want to say that he that was such a perfect fuck you to Robert, because way he framed it. Well, if you look at the last 3 years on average, we're 27th in the league. Yeah, sure. That's because in 2020 you didn't spend anything. In 2021 you didn't spend, or 2022 you didn't spend anything. But in 2021 you spent $195 million guaranteed. So yeah, if you average that across 3 years, sure, Bill, you're one of the most frugal people out there. Oh. However, I don't want. I guess my take on this would be, I don't mind that what he did that free agent period. Now, I have a problem with how he used some of the people that he paid that money for. But if you're saying, hey, Bill, after a down year, I know that you're going to go out and you're going to spend because you know that you need to, do it. Like that, we've never seen that Bill Belichick, ever. So he did it once. And just like we talked about last year, I said, whatever, I think we all talked about this. We were on the show together, actually. I said, whatever you see in 2021 is going to be a false positive, because people who spend that much money always get at least a 3-win buffer that first year. You see it normalize in the second year. So again, another positive is, if this was it normalizing with the same roster with 2 people that don't have they don't deserve to be anywhere near an offensive coordinator role, and you still won 8 games. If you get a competent person in here, I think you're one more good player away from being an 11-win team. Not a contender, but an 11-win team.
Even just a few calls. Well, I mean, I think it might have just been me and Craig on the show after this, because that's what we were getting, doing the instant reactions, which was that was one of the fun things for me this year, and the tumultuous year. But
sorry, I got busy, bro.
No, hey, listen, me too, man. These kids are out of control, but that's another conversation for the day. But the Green Bay game was winnable.
100%.
The Minnesota game was winnable.
Las Vegas, winnable.
So yeah, Las Vegas.
Cincinnati.
Yeah, so that's 4 games. So that's the case. That's you're 12-5 there. We're potentially a 3 seed now, as opposed to being, fighting for the number 7 seed. So that's 4 wins on the table there, or at least 2 for sure. I would say the Green Bay and the Vegas game, because the other 2 kind of, but they came out. But
it was a bad play call against Cincinnati.
Right.
They never should have run the ball. He leaned on the run. He leans on the run too often. And They should have thrown the ball there and gone for the touchdown instead of trying to run the ball up the middle. Right. Anybody that's ever played Madden knows what play you should have called there. Right. Matt.
Yep, exactly. Perfectly said. So it's just, to me, you had wins on the table, and yes, like you said, Mike, it goes back to the competent play calling. The fact that they were going to call a pass when they should call a run, or call a run when they should call a pass. Mac Jones said it perfectly the whole year. The short game sucks, because it does. You're throwing a backwards lateral to Kendrick Bourne, thinking that he's going to separate. Not going to be Bourne, because he wasn't even in the game. You're throwing to fucking Jacoby Myers, who doesn't have much more foot speed than the 6 of us combined. Like, what are we doing? Like, you should have been throwing to Tyquan Thornton. Maybe throwing to Kendrick Bourne, guys that can actually move in space to get the yak yards that you're looking for in that offense, and it never came to fruition. So there's just so many things that went wrong in the season as we give you this Patriot autopsy. Perfect idea from our producer, Craig Alessandro. We're giving you this autopsy, but they've been dead for weeks, guys. they've been,
Oh no, they've been The Walking Dead for like 17 weeks.
Right. It was for something that you know what, that's the quote. I don't even say no more after that. Going back to what you said about Kendrick Bourne, though, since now we can look at this entire season in hindsight. Mm-hmm. It's just hilarious that
obviously Patricia benched him out of spite and everything, but when he was on the field, he made the best plays out of anyone on that team.
That benching of him was so God, just
it was so funny because in the offseason he was just like, yeah, man, Patricia's got the playbook. He's got it all down. We got these all special plays that you're going to see in the offseason. Then 2 weeks into the season, these plays fucking suck. And then we never see him again.
Which is, to me, some of the team suspensions, and there's 2 right now that I think are bogus, and Jake Bailey and Jack Jones, and I think they're both going to win their grievances because
I don't know about Jack Jones. But...
Regardless, some of the suspensions that they've given out, whether they've been official or within the team over the years, have been absolutely asinine. And not only did he suspend Kendrick Bourne for something completely ridiculous, he completely misused the guy. It's his first go around as an offensive coordinator. Take a seat, Matt. Take a seat. Right. Call the play. Shut up and let the players run it. You're not Bill O'Brien. You're not Charlie Weiss. You don't command the locker room. Now, we know you can't command a locker room. We know that because we know it from Detroit. Those guys hated his guts. And I think they hate his guts here too.
Didn't some of the players in Detroit take out a whole page of the Detroit Free Press or whatever and be like, this is how much Matt Patricia sucked as the head coach of the Detroit Lions?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
That's one of my favorite things. And then people actually expected him to come to New England and be respected or whatever, get the
Bill,
I don't know.
And Bill thought, what a concept to bring this guy back.
Which makes no sense. Why? Why did Bill do
for free?
Why did Bill do
why?
We can sit here and say, why did Bill do this for an hour?
Hire me.
For free.
If that's the case, you can hire me for free.
It doesn't matter, Mike. It doesn't matter if it's for free or $1 million or what you can't.
Well, I don't think Bill would have paid $1 million for that.
You're messing with dudes' careers. You're messing with dudes' livelihoods. You got guys that might be in the last year of their contract, the last year of their career. Devin McCourty and Matt Slater are here for as long as they were here for, and they were coached like that. That's disrespectful. And not that they're here to be respected, but that's asinine and disrespectful to those two guys alone. And then you got guys that are going to be free agents, and their value is going to drop because they were coached by Matt fucking Patricia on offense.
Yeah,
it's so friggin' stupid that Robert Kraft would even let Bill make these decisions. It's stupid that Bill made the decisions. And the play call, I am 4 million% on the side of the players on this. 4 million%.
As you should. But hire me, Bill, because guess what?
I played Madden before.
Right, exactly. I could have done the same job. And I have not pulled this card in 2+ years that we've done this, but I'm going to bring this up because it's relevant to the conversation. My cousin is Ray Rhodes. If you don't know who Ray Rhodes is, Ray Rhodes was a coach in Philadelphia. He was a coach in Green Bay. He also played for Bill Walsh, coach under Bill Walsh, won Super Bowls, was a great defensive coordinator in his day. I could have called him and got some plays together, and that would have worked.
You're already
are you kidding me?
You're already more qualified than old Cheeto fingers.
Yeah.
Right. Bill didn't want for this experiment, which is what we're going to call it. He needed people that would not question him and that would not go against the grain, and we saw what happened.
Stupid.
Again, the Kendrick Bourne thing. He had 20 less catches this year for 400 less yards. Think about that. That's how ineffectively they used him this year. That's disgusting. It's criminal to take a guy that in year one of what used to be called the most ridiculous offense to have to learn. Chad Ochocinco couldn't learn. He went down to Miami and hit a female instead. But you get Kendrick Bourne to come in here and he puts up 800 yards in his first year, and he puts up 5 touchdowns. So what do? You change the offense to an offense that he is familiar with. You leave him out of it. You target him 23 less times, which equates to 20 less receptions, again, in 400 less yards.
And then the fans sit here, and I'm going to call it the fans because they suck this year too. Oh, Kendrick Bourne sucks. What did we spend all this money on Hunter Henry for? Nelson Aguilar sucks and Jonnu Smith isn't very good. But what are we doing? Why can't these guys play? Mac Jones sucks. Nope, the coaching sucks. It's very simple, Pink Hatters, to go back and look at stats online on the interwebs. You can Google that stuff, and you can compare stats from 2 years on NFL.com from the same team, ESPN, anywhere you want, probably right on Google, and you can see that the production was down. And as Mike so eloquently said about 20 minutes ago, the only difference was the offensive coordinator. And don't let Bill at the beginning of the year, well, other teams have done this before too. Other teams have not given their guys titles. Nope. 32 teams in the league. 31 of them have an offensive coordinator and a defensive coordinator. And you have an offensive line coach and a middle linebackers coach calling the plays. F you, Bill. It's done. It's done. This is it. I can't believe how this season went, and they still went 8-9. And that's what Bobby and that's what Bobby and Dave are going to say to us, right? Well, you guys don't even know about we're Bears and Cowboys fans. Well, guess what? The Bears have the first overall pick, and the Cowboys are in the Super Bowl. You know what the Patriots got? The 15th overall pick, which 14th overall pick.
The Cowboys are not in the Super Bowl. Nothing. Cowboys are going to get spanked by Tom Brady.
Did I say they're in the Super Bowl? I meant the playoffs.
Yeah.
They're in the play. Yeah, they're gonna get smoked this weekend by Tom Brady. So have fun, Cowboys fans, having a freaking conniption in the second quarter when you're down 17. I'm fired up.
Good tell.
I think a lot of what hurt, like whatever the quarterback, digression or regression, or whatever the hell the word is the offensive line fucking blew this year. It was just so bad on every.
Trent Brown was a turnstile, and he had more penalties than any other offensive lineman in the league.
Isaiah Wynn, when he was playing, was averaging a penalty a game.
Right, but that was Bill again. He devalued 2 good offensive linemen and switched them from guards to tackles because he wanted them to get less money next year.
How do you do? First of all, as Bill Belichick, who was the defensive coordinator of the New York Giants when Lawrence Taylor broke the leg of Joe Theismann, how can you as a head coach rightfully not pay a left tackle the money that he's owed to protect your quarterback? How do you do that? I'm on the player side on this one too.
Yeah.
Now, granted, Trent Brown was a complete shell of himself this year. Last year, he had an outstanding season. This year, he couldn't get back against. He couldn't get back against second straight. He had moments, but sometimes he couldn't drop back in pass coverage against some of the pass into a pass block.
Well, he was always better. He was always a better run blocker, though.
No, I know that, and that's part of what Mike is saying. Like, they moved him around so they could pay him less money next year. And man, you're devaluing guys' careers. Like, Trent Brown ain't going to be here next year. No. Isaiah Wynn sure as shit ain't going to be here next year. And
for what it's worth, Joe, there were only 6 more sacks allowed on Mac this year than there were last year. Now, he played 3 less games.
I was actually looking.
So ratio.
Yeah, I was actually looking at that. I didn't know, different team. I didn't know Geno Smith. And in fact, the Seahawks were in the playoffs this year. Actually got sacked 46 times. But anyway.
Well, yeah.
Well, when Joe Burrow, what was that? Was that last year that they went to the Super Bowl?
Yep.
Yeah.
He was sacked like 51 times. He was the most sacked quarterback in the league. And
he also had offensive weapons he could just huck it up to, and they could probably catch it.
Yeah, hey, that's another good concept there, Billy. Why don't we go out and get a true number 1 instead of trying to pretend that Devontae Parker's number 1?
Can we talk about that? So, like, who was some?
I was just talking about it.
Gotcha. Yeah, who are some viable options at that could actually, like, and I'm not besides DeAndre Hopkins. I'm not even on that. It's right up Bill's alley. It's right up
Bill's alley.
To get a guy like that to be 31 and come here. Now, once
he's right in that Randy Moss wheelhouse.
Yeah,
right?
He's not washed. So I don't want to say D Hopkins because he's not washed. I think he can still dominate when he's on. But I like the kid from Ohio State.
No, he's not gonna. No. Bill is not gonna fucking draft a wide receiver. No more. Stop.
I want the kid from Georgia, McConkey, so we can have Mac to McConkey.
Ray.
He actually is pretty good though. But I mean, I know you're make a joke of it, Mike, but I'm serious. Like the guy from that kid from Ohio State, Smith and Joba, that kid's a baller. Check the tape. That kid can go. And you're looking for a one. That's the guy that could be a number one for you, in the right system. That's just how I see it. I don't know if once again we was high on I was high on the Alabama receivers last year or the year before, and we didn't get any of those guys. But I'm telling you, if you bring in one of them guys, even some of the kids from Georgia, man, like they have a lot of guys that we could pluck from there that could be on this team in the first round or in the later rounds. With them winning the national championship game. So
wide receiver isn't the top target though in this draft.
We know wide receivers should never be a target for Bill in any draft anymore, because he knows how to trade for good veterans.
So. Should he trade for D-Hop, Mike?
Yes,
yeah, he should.
How pissed do you think that like some of those like Cal McNair, like I think he's an asshole and I don't really like him. But how pissed do you think he is when he read the report this morning that Arizona was going to trade D-Hop? Do you think he like looked into the sky and was like, Bill O'Brien?
I mean,
shook his fist at the sky.
If it's done correctly, no, because that franchise should be set up for the next 5 years with all their first round picks.
Right.
So they should.
They should be in a similar situation to where like the Eagles were a couple years ago, and
right.
And now
but if you are removing D-Hop from the conversation,
okay.
This is going to surprise everyone here. Go get Juju. Go get him. He's a free agent.
I mean that's not a bad target.
He's not a number one though.
But what about Tee Higgins from Cincinnati? Because they got to pay somebody at some point over there, and it's going to be Chase. It's not going to be
is he a free agent this year?
No, I'm saying like trade from trade.
He's not a number one either though. He hops is a bona fide number one. No, but see. That's what we said about DeVonta Parker. And one, he can't stay healthy enough to be a number one. But that's the thing is like DeVonta Parker is a good 2. Tee Higgins is a good 2. Mm-hmm. D-Hop is a 1. Juju's a good like 3rd or 4th option. And we have a couple 2s. We have a 3. I mean, you have Parker who's your 2. You have Bourne who's your 3. Aguilar is like a 9. You have Myers, who is like a 2 or a 4. Like you have your options. You just have to get that bona fide number one wide receiver, and you have a number one running back. They just don't put any value into the running game. It's amazing since Mike has said that they shouldn't. You're right, because we've had this conversation before, right? Like when Derrick Henry is your best player, you're not going to win a Super Bowl. When your best player on the field is a running back, it's proven. There is not proven, but there is evidence that would suggest that Mike is right on that.
Like that's not far fetched to say. Corey Dillon ran for 1635 and they went 14-2.
Yeah,
Tom Brady was the quarterback.
Come on.
Yeah, Tom Brady was quarterback.
But that balance there from him having there, even Antoine Smith.
You just said it right there. Balance.
You gotta have the balance. It's not. They also had a balance, man. I'm sorry.
They also had the number one ranked defense that year.
But balance, Mike. You have to have both. You can't have the number one defense. Once again, we've seen it defense ball for most.
What was that balance between the pass game and the run game?
I'm just saying that I do value running backs, but I don't. We should never pay them. And the proof would be,
Bill, is that you?
In 2004, yes, yeah, Corey Dillon ran for 1,600 yards. They won a Super Bowl. In 2018, Sony Michel ran for like -10, and they won a Super Bowl. It doesn't matter. It matters in the final 4 games of the year in December that you can run. That's why like LeGarrette Blount made his legacy in the NFL and what he did in December here in New England, because he was unstoppable for those 4 weeks. Always. You have to prove that you can be nitty gritty, so the teams do have to scheme for you. But just to go back, because I never got to argue or to argue my Juju Smith-Schuster point. DeVonta's here next year.
Yep.
I think DeVonta and Juju give you a better chance. If you say that none of them is a clear number one, I would also argue that neither of them are really clear number twos. Like they're 1As, both of them. You have to show them attention. If you actually decide that you're going to use your tight ends correctly too with an offensive coordinator, then now we're talking. I think Devontae Parker on this team with last year's offensive coordinator, he's a real number one for sure. He was number one in Miami for 5 years when he was healthy.
Sure. And don't get me wrong, I would like to have Juju here, but my I guess where my mind is caught up is I want Randy Moss. God damn it!
How many Super Bowls did we win with Randy Moss?
0, Mike.
Not awful close,
but he's not a running back. So you know what? Don't change your mind on me here. Let's spend some money on a wide receiver.
But the Patriots have always done it well historically when they have a balanced passing attack. Yeah, so you have one receiver that goes for 1,000, but then you need to have two that are over 750, right? I think, and again, I'm just spitballing here, but if you bring in a Juju or maybe a Tee Higgins, that'd be great, but that's never going to happen. The Bengals aren't going to part ways with one of them until they have to, because Bill's not going to give any draft equity for that. Like, we know that, and you can offer Juju Smith-Schuster 3 times what he made this year, and he'd still get paid less than Nelson Aguilar.
I got one for
No, that's gonna do it for the night. That's the stat of the night. I'm out. Bye.
Well, since Joe's gone, I got one for you. And maybe this will get shut down immediately. Probably will.
Don't say Julio Jones.
Oh God, no. Maybe 5 years ago, but not now. What do you think it would take to pry Smith out of Philly?
Everything.
DeVonta Smith?
Yeah.
DeVonta Smith?
The farm, the truck, the kids, the wife, any assets you have in the bank, the deposit box.
That's not a name I thought of.
So the reason I bring it up, it seems like the trend in the NFL now is to hook college quarterbacks up with their college wide receivers. And boy, look at them go! Look at Joe Burrow.
Yeah, but they had that opportunity. They had that opportunity.
To answer your question, Craig, it would probably take more than a 3rd round pick, which is all that Bill would offer. So
your left arm, my right leg,
but
Rayshon's hair.
Right. But once again, different player, different time. Just for the circumstance.
I mean, just go look back at Alabama with Mack and DeVonta Smith. That was unstoppable.
No, right. We gave a 4th rounder for Randy Moss.
Right.
Randy Moss. We can say we want about DeVonta Smith. DeVonta Smith on his best day ain't sniffing Randy Moss. So let's put that out there, right?
No, but at the point that Randy was in his career,
go ahead.
At the point that Randy was in his career, a 4th round pick was all that they needed to take him. So DeVonta Smith, there's no way that who the hell's the GM in Philly?
Regardless. I mean, we're only 3 years removed from Bill trading a 3rd for Antonio Brown. Like, he'll do it, but it has to be an overpaid veteran as opposed to an underpaid young player on their rookie deal. And like, you'd be stupid if you're the Eagles to part ways with him, because you have him now for the next 3 years at a very reduced rate, and he's going to perform.
Phenomenal for them.
Yeah,
great. I know they got Dallas Goedert as TD and TD as their tight end. I mean, listen,
I just don't feel like the Eagles need him as long as they have AJ Green there.
No, AJ Brown.
That's what I meant.
And even
that's funny, why they want
even AJ Green's a name that would have been cool here a couple years ago.
Yeah, five, 6 years ago. Sure.
You know what I'm saying? So that's another guy who's also
Arizona's cleaning house. We can get him.
Yeah, I mean he's not what he wants. So I'm all set. But yeah, just get D-Hop. But yeah, if there was a way we could pry away DeVonta Smith, of course. I mean the numbers they were doing with Mac there, like it was crazy. So but I'll say I think Tee Higgins is realistic. I think that like I said, Juju Smith-Schuster, realistic.
You think Tee Higgins is realistic?
Yes, because at some point you got. So remember, it's Chase, Higgins, Boyd. You're not paying all 3. Someone has to go.
Yeah, they're not going to pay Boyd. They're not going to pay Boyd.
I don't know. I think Higgins might think like Juju, think, I could be at one elsewhere, and then they say, okay, well, you're not going to take this, then we'll move you. We'll move you. And Like I said, they kind of remind me of a slightly better. Well, I won't say slightly better, but remember Arizona in 08 when they had 3,000-yard guys, Fitz, Anquan Bolden, and Steve Reston. Higgins is more like an Anquan Bolden. Maybe he's the guy that gets moved. Who knows? So like, I would give the second for Tee Higgins. I would give the second rounder. Maybe one.
Yes, but fine. With Bill.
So real quick. So on these three guys,
second round player that's better than Tee Higgins.
Let's talk about these three guys. We'll start with D-Hop.
Okay.
He's going to be 31 at the start of next season.
Mm-hmm.
His base salary is $19.45 million. His cap hit is $30 million.
Yeah, but they can work that.
So what is a team? And I'm not going to say the Patriots because we'll be all inclusive here. What does a team have to give up to get Dustin Hopkins? He's a kicker.
Oh, you love
to get DeAndre Hopkins.
It will, because of what Arizona is doing right now. I think it's a third, maybe a third and a fifth. You do it.
Assuming you take assuming you take the contract and then rework it. Yeah.
If you do a third and a fifth, I would do that yesterday.
Yeah, come get him at Logan. Come.
Because you know what Bill will do with the 14th overall pick? He'll take that and turn it into a second and 2/3 anyway. So it's not going to matter.
Correct.
Tee Higgins is making $1.7 million next year.
That's
by the way,
hello?
that's
hello, 1.7 million. What you're telling that is bargain hunter Bill Kelly, baby. Go get him.
That's $9.3 million.
You just made me feel better. That makes me feel better about saying that.
Right. Mike has something to say.
That's $9.3 million less than what Nelson Aguilar made this year.
I hate you.
Hey, well, that is bargain hunter Bills.
Hey, listen, look at this. He's making $1 million. Juju's a free agent. Just go on a spending spree and bring in all the wide receivers. Bring in Juju. Juju's not making any money. He made $3 million. I mean, he'll probably make a little bit more this year than he did last year.
I mean, if he makes
he had a productive season. Yeah,
you're still saving
$6.
so
go
much
get
money.
Tee Higgins. Tell Nelson Aguilar to kick rocks. And trade for D-Hop.
Yeah, he's out. Yeah, he's.
Oh, he was the 3-year guy, right? He's done.
He was 2 years. So you get that. No, he's off the books then. He's not coming back.
He's off.
He's off. So okay, fine. Bye. So yeah, my thing is why not? Once again, you have nothing to lose at this moment. Once again, there's teams spending money out their ass, bro. I don't want to hear that you can't spend a few dollars on that position. Or matter of fact, we talk about Tee Higgins. We forgot about his teammate that's on the other side of the ball. Because we need a McCourty replacement. Go get Jesse Bates too, because that brother can ball. Go get him too. They drafted the Hill last year.
I also don't want
go get Jesse Bates.
For some reason, you saying that brother can ball really just threw me off, and I was going to ask Mike a question.
You're gonna hate this take, but
he can though. He can play.
I don't want Bill to spend money on defense either.
What?
Oh,
what? No, he can draft. He can draft. No, he can draft corners. Or actually, he's better when he doesn't draft corners and he finds undrafted. I mean, yes. Do you need to replace Devin McCourty?
Yes,
of course. But Devin McCourty wasn't a safety when he entered the league. He was a corner. Bill did
1 year.
So he
was a Pro Bowl corner. I don't like. I just trust. I trust Bill to draft defensive backs or not draft them, but to find them on the cheap. I would never want. I would never want him to draft. I really trust him to draft linebackers, D-line, and then understand the market. Now, I think safety. Just go look at his free agent signings for safeties in the past. They're terrible.
Need I say more?
Well, yes. Okay.
So I mean, I know this.
That's one. He's been coaching here for 23 years.
Right. Exactly. I get that. But are y'all the three of you telling me with a straight face that Jesse Bates next to Ducker wouldn't be a problem tandem?
Nobody ever insinuated that, implied that, or
no. I know. I just want to know on the record because I'm just like Mike's over here trying to hold on to the dollars. Like
you're creating an argument.
Sure, that's what I'm here to do. But I want Jesse Bates here next to Duggar, so me and Craig can go. Craig, once again, me and Craig are the presidents of the Kyle Duggar Club.
Yeah, but Duggar's different. He's not a safety.
He's a hybrid. I get it, but I'm like,
he'll never do it.
To me, so
he makes $13 million, right? He won't do it.
Safety then? So McCourty, are we comfortable with that?
He makes $13 million. He's not going after Jesse Bates.
He's not going to go after Jesse Bates. He's going to shore up, obviously, Jabril Peppers. I think he's going to bring him back. He was only making like $2 million this year.
Yeah,
he also has.
He's good this year. Yeah,
he also has to get.
We need a linebacker. A few of them.
Yeah, I mean, on this list, I could see him saying, you know what? Yeah, Jesse Bates is pretty good, but you could probably get the same value with AJ Moore, who I don't even know who the hell that is. But he's like the 10th ranked safety and free agent going into this year.
No.
But again,
go get the actual talent. Get the talent. When he got Gilmore, he said, you know what? This guy I could turn into something. I'm giving him top dollar. And Gilmore became Defensive Player of the Year. We went to back-to-back Super Bowls. He became Defensive Player of the Year. That's what you do. Go get the guy that, with my coaching, become from good to great or great to damn near Hall of Fame. That's what you got to do. Because defensively, I'm with you. If he brings in guys defensively, once again, we've seen it with Judo, we've seen other players. I know that if he brings in guys for the most part, they're going to do their job and they're going to dominate. That's all I want. So I'd rather see Jesse Bates. I'd rather see the kid from, what's the kid from Buffalo, 49. I think he's a free agent too. Is it Edwards? What's his name? Edwards? He's a linebacker. He's another one as a free agent. Go after these guys. Once again, at least have the conversation. It's up to them to sign, whatever. But at least get them on the phone with their agent and say, look, I could turn you from good to great or great to damn near transcendent. You have to at least get in the room. And I know 12 is not here. I understand that changes their name. Fine, whatever. The defense could still go. We've seen it at times this year. That's the only reason why they was in games this year. I just think you got to get the name. Fuck getting these great value players. And if we sit here in week 7 clowning them on the show. Once again, great content. But I'd rather you bring talent in, actual talent.
Right. I just hate to burst your bubble, though. Like, Jesse Bates is 25. He's going to get paid.
He's already
getting money. Okay. Doug is 25, 26 too. Okay. That's what I'm saying. If you take care of that, you're set now. That's what I'm saying. That's my mentality. You're set.
Right, but that's not Bill's mentality, right? He's not going to pay. He doesn't pay corners. We saw it with Gilmore.
Well, he will every once in a while.
We saw it with Malcolm. What's his face?
Butler.
That's I was gonna say Brown, but that wasn't right. I really don't.
Wasn't Gilmore the biggest? Contract of all time.
Give him $15 million a year.
Right.
But he's not gonna spend that money again. He's not gonna do it again.
He will if Dave thinks he's generational.
But he's not gonna. He's also not Ray. He's also not gonna trade away assets and then also pay.
Right, we're only going to get one or the other. So, like, gun to head right now, Ray, would you rather have Hopkins on this team or Jesse Bates next year?
Jesse Bates.
Is that just because you want to argue with me, or do you actually believe that?
No, I believe. No, the reason why I'm saying that, because my thing is, if you're going to continue to fuck up offensively, you need to make sure that you have a defense that can hold it down.
Yeah, but it's not going to happen next year. Based on the email that we received as season ticket holders this morning, that's not going to happen, and there's going to be widespread changes, and everything's going to be hunky dory and different.
And that's great.
And of course, they got to tell us that because they're redoing the entire north end of the stadium, so they got to make everybody freaking happy, and they got to make changes. Now they got to go win.
What's the record, Craig? What's the record
of the Patriots?
No, for Shula. 3 what?
320.
No, 347.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Let that be a record. Let that be a record that Bills get, and not the fucking winning percentage for the next 5 years.
Right.
Well,
I think next year it is encouraging. While I'm pissed off at the experiment that happened this year, and how this went, that word is now making my mouth feel dirty. It's going to be different next year, and I believe that because there's no way that they can let this happen again.
You better be.
Yeah, I think the old man's going to get a happy ending next year. and I think the team will do much better.
Craig, wrap it up.
Oh no, we still got a long way to go, my friend.
I can't with this guy. Wrap it up.
Oh no, we still got far more to go. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take a look at the Patriots free agent class for 2023 and decide who's going to come back and who's going to go. So let's play the fun game of should they stay or should they go? So number one,
we got to have a rule here because we're all going to rant. It's just a stay or go, and then we move on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
I can do that.
Yeah. I'm offended.
You should be offended because I was directed at you.
All right. All right, number one with a bullet. I think we'll all agree on this. Stay or go, Nelson Aguilar.
Go.
Yeah. Jacoby Myers.
Stay.
Go.
Stay.
If they can, if reasonable money, sure. Damian Harris.
Stay.
Go.
If they can, not going to overpay him for sure. That's that one. John Jones.
Stay.
Mike.
Oh, stay.
Okay. All right. I think that one's
That
next
was
up.
painful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one's going to hurt too. McCourty.
Go.
He's retired.
Well, if he stays, then he better stay for a third of what he made this year. I'm okay with the $3 million salary.
He can stay.
Assuming he stays and doesn't retire.
Correct.
Right.
Jabril Peppers, safety.
Stay.
So resign. Okay. So next up, linebacker Mac Wilson.
Stay.
Yeah. I mean,
they need speed at that position. He gives that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
He's
Stay.
also good on special teams.
Stay.
which we were
position.
So good that he didn't stop 3 kick returns. But I would say he only made like what $700,000 this year.
That's
like
like
it, yeah.
It's just him.
Give him like 1 point. Like don't pay more than $2 million for him.
Raekwon
Mac
McMillan.
Wilson Senior, so he's got a kid to feed, so you got to pay him a little bit more money.
Raekwon McMillan.
Go.
Stay.
He can stay. Carl Davis.
Stay.
Go.
This one's gonna suck. Matt Slater.
Go.
He's retiring.
Yeah, retiring.
He's going.
Yeah, he'll retire.
I want him to stay, but yeah, I think he's gone.
All right, let's make this one really quick. 1, 2, 3. Isaiah Wynn.
Go.
Thank you. Yanni Kajus.
Go.
Stay.
I would keep Yanni. Connor McDermott.
Go.
I don't know what that is, but go.
He's a tackle.
Stay.
Yeah.
We need him. We need tackles.
Well, we could keep this guy.
The ones here ain't working, so go.
We could keep this guy instead. Marcus Cannon.
Stay.
Go.
Joe Cardona, long snapper.
Stay.
Hey.
James
Whatever.
Ferentz.
I mean, he's been in the system for a while.
He's
but
fine.
Stay.
He's 34. Wow.
He's also a terrible, but he's a terrible center.
Yeah.
Good. We
He's
don't
not that
need
good.
him there. We just need a new center.
Right.
David Andrews can't. David Andrews can't hold up anymore. I think Andrews might be done this year too.
I think Andrews is actually younger than who the hell were we talking about?
Right.
Yeah, I think Andrews is younger than Ferentz.
I think, yeah, he is by like a year or two.
Mhm.
But if you put their
Wild.
names together, you get former Boston Bruins great Andrew Ferentz.
All right, there you go.
Correct. I would say great.
Joanne Williams.
Go.
Yeah, no,
No.
he sucks. He's never been good. He's big, but he's never been good. And
Now, hold on.
It's a yes or a no, Mike.
I didn't say anything, so we can't go yet. Stay.
Okay, just as a body. And then I think we'll all.
Did you just ask me a question then move on?
Yes, I did.
Okay. It's hard. It's hard for Bill to find big bodied cornerbacks to play for this team. I think he can coach them up. You get it for a 1.2 again. Stay.
But it's not hard for him to find big booty bitches.
Ow.
Miles Bryant.
Stay.
Go.
Yeah, I knew
Go.
that was coming.
Fucking
That one-
joke. It's terrible. Go.
Stay.
Oddly
He's better than Ellis Hobbs. Go.
Oddly
Well,
enough,
I mean, don't put him on Plexico Burris, but like you can
Don't
use
put him
him.
on Philly Brown either. Don't get me started.
Well, you know what happens when you put gunners on Plaxico Burris.
Jesus.
That's wow.
oddly enough,
Oh my.
Miles Bryant is the only restricted free agent. Everyone else is unrestricted.
Well, unrestricted that. Let him go. Let him go. Fuck that. Bye, Bill. Bye, Miles Bryant. And how funny is it he wears 27 as well? So the irony. What a joke. Get him out of here. Send him packing.
I don't know, guys. I just look at this Patriots, the things they got to do this offseason, the changes they got to make, coaches and players, personnel. I think it's gonna be tough to put together a team that's going to compete like they did last year.
It's not.
It's not. No, they're young in all the right places.
You didn't name one free agent who is a bona fide impact player.
Right.
True.
None of those guys. Not even Harris. I want Harris.
They would agree. They would agree. I think everyone here would agree with me here, Craig. Like, they're young at all the right positions.
Yep.
They just need to put actual coaches on their roster, and they'll be fine.
And that's going to be a lot of cap money, not real money, Bill. A lot of cap money freed up.
They have a ton of cap spaces
that they can go out and spend some money and bring some guys in, and they have some capital and they have some things that they can trade away if they want to go get guys. I think Nick Folk might be done here too. So they might need to look
a free agent
position. He's not a free agent.
No, he can come back if he wants to.
He can come back.
He's not. It's not like restricted or
players last 2 years. Keep him.
Yeah. No. I like Nick Folk. I didn't like him when he first got here, but I've changed my mind on that. I think he got screwed at the end of the year. He was missing a lot of kicks, and a lot of people put that on him. He was also dealing with a rookie off the practice squad holder and a backup long snapper. So, the odds were not ever in his favor.
Also, I think it's worth noting that the Patriots will be drafting at 14 this year. That's the highest they've drafted in over a decade. So,
yes, since 2008.
Yeah. So I think
we don't miss in the top 10 is after that.
What was that?
Mayo and Seymour were phenomenal when they were healthy here. Like, so he don't miss in the top 10. It's after that shit.
It can't be 2008. We were 11-5. It had to have been.
No. We got the Mayo in it. We got Mayo in a trade for Harrison.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's where we got that.
Sir. But yeah, so it's like, those are the. We should have made the playoffs that year.
Silly Mike.
Yeah, come on. No, love you, bro. But no, seriously though, it's just like it's ridiculous. Like, yeah, top 10, he hits. It's just anything after that, I'm nervous. So, but I mean, like I said, y'all shot down my Ohio State idea. I just like said that kid could play.
You're creating arguments that we never made.
Maybe
there's a kid from
you know what? You know what, Ray? Hang on, Ray. Just to get you going and like make it real. Mm-hmm. Forget Ohio State and forget Jesse Bates.
I'm not letting go. At least, okay, I'll give you the Ohio State. He's not gonna get the wide receiver, but don't shoot down the dream completely yet of Jesse Bates.
I'm just saying you were fabricating arguments that Mike and I were not making.
Sure, but it makes for good podcasting. But no, there's a kid named out of Texas A&M. He's 6'3", about 205. Name is Antonio Johnson.
Yep.
He plays safety, might be able to move over to corner. That's a big body. He'll be there at 14. Go get him. Or there's a lineman I think named Cam Smith. You can get him as well. He's a tackle. Those are guys there. Like, I've already been looking at stuff in the draft because the shit was over after the Vegas game. So
if I'm Bill, I'm taking a tackle at 14.
Yeah,
that's me.
Yeah,
but the guy they could. Well, what did they have last year? What did they pick at last year?
Cole Strange, like 22.
Who actually had a very good rookie season.
No, he had a very good rookie start.
Right.
Okay. Well, actually, nah. His rookie start was pretty rough, but he evened it out at the end.
How he doesn't have the highest
Craig, you're
selling
wrong.
jersey.
I don't think I am.
How he doesn't have the highest selling jersey in the NFL makes no sense to me.
He got worse. He got worse as the season went on, and that's because he wasn't coached properly. But
Mike,
Ray, hold on, Joe. Ray, just remember the guy that you were asking to go draft that guy from Ohio State.
Yes.
Even if you believe that he is a cinch, you can't mess with him. You're asking the guy that said that Jonathan Baldwin was better than Julio Jones. Oh, or that N'Keal Harry was better than DK Metcalf.
Right, but facts. But even or AJ Brown, his teammate, right? But once again, Thornton wasn't bad this year. He was hurt. Like when they let him actually make a play, it was like, oh, he can actually do something. Like, so to me, I'm just like, yo, you have to just, like you said, you have to coach these guys up to put them in position to be successful. The Jets, it's funny, we just threw Josh, right? Tyler Thornton had fucking 11 touchdowns this year with Josh McDaniels, because on that jet sweep when he catches it, like he would have wreaked havoc on defenses with that.
If
play.
Josh McDaniels is here, you would have had a jet sweep with Tyquan Thornton almost every other play.
And with John Smith, I think John Smith could run it too. So it's like,
Right.
what are we doing? What are we doing?
Mike, his last name is Strange, and he wears the number 69.
No, I get it. I get it, Joe. Thank
Yeah,
you.
but no, like
But another part of drafting, though, Ray, is like, to your point, like Tyquan Thornton, like he was good, but he got hurt. Malcolm Mitchell was really good too, but he got hurt. So
yeah,
Bill cannot evaluate the stamina of these wide receivers. So like, don't draft one. Just eliminate that. Stop doing it. Just stop. Just find proven commodities on the cheap, which he has done
for 5 years, because he is the best I've seen at drafted wide receivers. He does not fucking miss. So if that's the case, he doesn't. That's
why I want Juju.
He said again.
That's why I want Juju.
Right. So I'm saying, but even Deontay Johnson, think about guy like he knows how to find them. So to me, you know, maybe that's the guy you call up. But I'm like, I would talk to him like, hey, what do you look at when you talk about wide receivers? Because whenever they get there, whatever they want coming into your building, they come out looking phenomenal in your system, and even when they leave. So yeah, that's the goal.
Just looking at Juju stats right now, I'd take him.
I know. He's going to command like $6 million, which again is $5 million less than Nelson Aguilar made this year.
I would give him 3 years, 27. I would give him that.
I'm not going to give him 9. I give him 3. He's not going to ask for 9.
Or you give it where you gave Kendrick Bourne 3 years, 22. Okay, fine.
Yeah, sure, perfect.
Sure, fine. That's
15 guaranteed.
Sure, not a problem.
Done.
I still think you add 2 more receivers. Let's say you're gonna let Aguilar go. I just, to me, and you know, we talked about this, Joe, a few weeks ago on the or a couple weeks ago on the Discord. What happened to the seam route? What happened to it? You have guys, because once again,
you have an incompetent guy calling the plays.
A second. If you have Hunter Henry run up the middle, and then you have Tyquan Thornton or somebody, or maybe Bourne run a square in underneath, that's 15 every time, just about. And you just sit in that zone, if they're playing zone or cover 2, and you fall in the zone and you just catch it, then you run the toss sweep, then you run the play action. Oh, what do you know? Then you score 7. It's a real fucking easy concept.
Ray,
it really is.
You see, Ray, the guy calling the offensive plays was incompetent.
From the North Idaho State of Technology.
And mines.
Yeah. I just want to point out, I think that we kind of brushed this off, and we should just give it at least 30 more seconds of attention. Jacoby Myers has averaged 800 yards receiving. and I'm going to tell you this. Over the last 3 years, he's averaged 800 yards per year and 65 receptions with Cam Newton, Mac Jones, and then Matt Patricia calling the plays. All in that sequence.
He's a good NFL receiver.
You have to keep him.
Yep. I don't think he's gonna be that expensive to bring back either. I think you look back to see what happened to Julian Edelman when they let him test the free agent market. He had one visit with the Giants, and then he came back for like cheap money.
Craig.
Yo.
His last name is Strange.
Oh my God.
And he wears 69.
That's a cute for me, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm just happy that Craig has given that positive take about Jacoby. Like I said, I was
okay.
I was done. No, I just want to mess with you, but y'all was messing with me. But no, I did.
Ray, I'm just glad you were here from the very beginning of the show.
Right, of course.
Me too.
Technical difficulties, but no,
it wasn't 9:30 yet.
Exactly. I was done after the Vegas game. I stand on that. And I don't care what he's done in the last 2 years. I'm done. He can go. He can go. Let him test the waters. Well, go down there, go down to Tampa Bay, go do something else. But Bye. See
Are you talking about
That's your opinion, and my opinion is that you're wrong.
Sure.
Agreed.
Cool.
When you're in a situation, and listen, what he did is inexcusable, and here I'm going to make an excuse for him. When you're in a situation where you have a coach that is that dumb, has no idea what he's doing, and is working with professional football players who have been doing this nearly their entire lives and at least all of their adult lives, and then you go out there and mismanage the offense, mismanage the biggest part of your job, you're gonna push people to do desperate things in desperate times. What he did was inexcusable. They never, if Stevenson just goes out of bounds, fine. If he doesn't throw the ball backwards, fine. Ray, you always see the second punch, right? You're a teacher, you're from Boston, you always see the second punch. Nobody ever sees the first punch. They always see the second punch. The first punch was the stupid ass play call by Matt Patricia not to kneel the ball down and go to overtime.
Yeah, that
was the problem.
The players did not. The players believed that if they did not win it on that play, they were not going to win the game. So, yeah, it led to utter stupidity. But I just want to make sure that those of you that are listening to this,
and it wasn't yelling
into your heads. That it's drilled into your heads. Jacoby Myers averaged 800 yards receiving per year. In 2 out of those 3 years, he had Cam Newton throwing to him and Matt Patricia calling the plays. Don't let him go.
His name is strange, and he wears 69.
So
no, you know what, Mike? Just to give it some more airtime. All joking aside, you're absolutely right. He's an outstanding receiver. He has been a constant here his entire career. He's been very good. He made a bonehead mistake in a bad season, but that bonehead mistake never should have been allowed to happen. It never should have gotten to that point. That play never should have been called. You bring that guy back, 100%.
Can I end this now?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. So that'll do it for this.
Sorry.
Yeah. So that'll do it for this. What I'm sure is going to be one of many Patriots offseason shows. Hopefully next week we'll talk about a little bit of Red Sox, maybe some Bruins in there as well. Trevor Story looks like he's not going to be around this year, so we'll see about that. By the time you're hearing this, you're probably watching the Rafael Devers press conference down at Fenway Park. He just signed for 11 million years. Hopefully you're enjoying that after you're listening to us.
11 million years.
11 million years.
11 million
and
years.
Red Sox years it is, because they gave him.
Craig, is he
a God? So.
For 11 years, $331 million. Better?
That sounds better.
That sounds better?
More accurate, at least.
Well, as we know, I am a fan of accuracy.
What's the average annual value of that, Craig?
For Rayshon Buchanan, who has been here the entire show, Michael Marcangelo, and Joe Malkin, I am Craig D'Alessandro. We'll talk to you next week on the 617, brought to you by Crow Early, the voice of the Boston fans, by the Boston fans.